Thank you for listening to this episode of the Drunk Sports Podcast. Join us next time. Hey, it's KT from the Ben and Skin Show, and you're listening to the Drunk Sports Podcast with Big Red and IndyCar Tim. Talking sports, current events, guy stuff, and everything in between. Now open up a cold one and drink along, because here they are, Lance and Tim.
You can buy me a drink.
We're all drunk.
Absolutely.
And hello, and welcoming. And you are rolling with the Drunk Sports Podcast on this new episode on a Wednesday night. And we are live from Studio 69 at Casa Not So Grande. It's a new again night on Wednesday. I'm here with my favorite partner in the whole world,
Big Red, baby.
Mr. Big Red, Lance Dorsett.
Give it to me, Lance. Give it to me, Lance. Push.
Here, I'll give it to you.
Give it to me, Lance. Big Red.
My nipple does not look like a corn nut.
No, but it smells like Maker's Mark.
Yes, it does.
Which is what we're starting the show with right now.
Let's go. Oh, yeah. Here we go, baby.
So what do we call that? That is a Little Red Smoky.
It's a Little Red Smoker.
So what we just did is our show shot. It's our official show shot. It is a Maker's Mark shot with a Big Red soda chaser. And boy, does that put some hair on your balls. Good Lord, that's good. Mm-hmm. It tastes wonderful. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight. And as always, this show is sponsored by your friends at the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, Texas. A full golf instructional facility. They've got seasonal, or what do they call them? All season. I really should have this written down because I forget it every time. All season tee boxes, both heated and covered, or you can be out in the sun when that's ready for you. They've got some short game areas. They've got a brand new, awesome, newly renovated par 3/4 putt-putt course.
Mini golf.
Yeah, that sounds better than putt-putt, doesn't it?
Sounds a little bit more.
Probably going to get my ass kicked for that. 10,000 square foot chipping green, right?
They've got about 10,000 square foot of putting green. We've got there's a big short game area, chipping green, bunkers, stuff like that to work around. 80 plus hitting stalls in the grass, and then I forget how many he said was covered and heated for wintertime. So
we really need to get all that copy.
Yep.
So I'm not guessing every time. But yes, check those guys out. They also have a full staff of PGA certified instructors everywhere from kids to if you think you've been playing for years and you think you're ready for the tour and you just need to get over the edge a little bit, Mr. John Gerber over there can help you out with that. They're, as I mentioned, in Carrollton. They're right there on Trinity Mills in between Marsh and Beltline. And they are ready for you.
And if you're old and fat like we are, there's Chris Ownby out there. He can get you trimmed up and slimmed up and ready to go.
Yeah, the golf fitness facility.
Yep.
We had them on a few weeks ago, and that's a good deal. So they're on the web at highlandspgc.com, or you can reach them by phone 972-733-4111. Again, the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton. And we, again, appreciate everybody joining us on this Wednesday night Drunk Sports Podcast, episode 31. If you'd like to interact with us on Twitter, I am at IndyCar Tim. He is at Drunk Big Red. The show Twitter is at Drunk Sports DFW. We would also like you to email us at thedrunksportspodcast@gmail.com. And we've got an NFL strong show for you tonight. If you're a Cowboys fan, you're going to want to be paying attention to this and listening. We've got some Jerry audio from an interview on The Fan yesterday.
Greatness.
Sean and RJ always pitching fastballs to Jerry. They brought up contracts.
Oh, Lord.
Is Jerry going to be, or is Jason going to be re-signed? And where are we with Dak and Amari? So we'll what's up, Mr. Kelly Wooten? So we'll get into some of that a little bit later, but we've got the Saints and Cowboys preview. Of course, they're on Sunday night. We're also going to rank the 8 first-year head coaches in the NFL. This is a funny article I found, from worst to LaFleur. I thought this was funny, so we're going to get into some of that. Short shots around the NFL for Week 3. Some interesting Troy Aikman Twitter activity.
We got some picks by our resident pick guru.
We do.
Mr. John Gerber, also the golf pro. But anyway.
We do. So before we get into any of that, we want to get to the important stuff. And Big Red, we've got a Sunday night matchup between the Saints and the Cowboys.
We do.
And, going into the season, when we saw this for Week 4, it looked like a much better matchup, of course, before the injury to Breeze. And that's actually on some of the audio we've got from Jerry coming on. The boys asked him, hey, do you wish Breeze was playing, or is this going to be a letdown game? So let's.
It better not be a letdown.
No, it's not going to be a letdown.
It better not be a letdown. If they
Jerry
go in there,
think it is.
they go in there with the britches half off, then they're in trouble.
So, Teddy Bridgewater's not a pushover. He was a high pick. He's performed well in Minnesota. He was a starter there. He lost his starting job in Minnesota, of course, due to the injury.
Dude, the catastrophic knee injury.
I can't believe he's still playing football.
That's almost as miraculous as Smith playing.
Alex Smith.
No, not Alex Smith. Our Smith, the linebacker.
Oh, Jalen.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Too much booze already. Sorry.
Yeah, we're primed. We're primed.
We had a couple of shots before we even came on. So yeah. Jalen's. I mean, apparently, he didn't have the nerve damage, but I mean, it's got to be as bad as Alex Smith as well. So
we'll get into a little bit of that because Jalen
that
Smith performed quite well last year, and he's not having the greatest season this year.
Well, some of that may be a little bit, and we'll get into it later on, I'm sure. But some of that may be a little bit of the pressure from the contract signing, and as soon as he realizes he's fine, he's good, he calms down and gets back to playing ball or double nickel,
yeah,
comes over and slaps him in the face and says, "Come on, dude, let's go."
I mean, we need him. We need Jalen Smith to be the Jalen Smith that we re-signed and the Jalen Smith that performed last year.
He will be
to shore up that linebacking core. The defense in general has been somewhat of a letdown, according to some. I don't care so much about yardage. Allow all the damn yards you can. I don't care if you give up 500 yards a game. If you're only allowing 13 points,
bend but don't break.
I'm cool with that, and that has been their philosophy for a long time. So, yes, of course, as we mentioned, this game looked a lot more interesting coming into the season before Breeze went down with a hand injury. He suffered in the Week 2 loss to the Rams. And again, we've got Teddy Bridgewater, who's no pushover. Breeze is supposed to be out for 6 weeks. He posted a picture on Instagram today, Breeze did, of his hand in the cast and with a big smile on his face. But at 40 years old, this has got to be his last season, and knowing that you're missing half the season.
I bet it ain't now.
I know.
I bet it ain't now.
And I'm a Saints fan, you know that, and I'm a Breeze fan, you know that. But good God, man.
I bet it ain't his last one.
And of course,
now.
Sean Payton just signed that damn 5-year extension. We talked about that last week.
You have to give up a whole lot for it to trade for him now.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Cowboys fans can give that up because guess what? Jason's going to get his extension.
Let's wait and see.
Well, we're going to talk about that around the NFL a little bit, but you can't underestimate Teddy Bridgewater. Whenever the Cowboys fans found out Breeze was down, I don't know how many were happy. I wasn't one of them because Bridgewater's good, man.
Yeah, but he's one of the good people in the NFL. I mean, he's truly one of the good men in the NFL, and you don't want to wish back again to the topic from Sunday, you don't want to wish bad shit on good people.
No, never.
So-
Especially Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Brees. I mean, Bridgewater's going to be a saint pretty much unless he just fizzles out completely and shows he's got nothing left in the tank. He'll be a saint for the rest of his career. He's the quarterback in waiting.
And you're talking about Breeze. Yeah, Breeze will be there. I don't know that he's got any more than one more full year, and I do think now after this injury, he'll talk to Peyton and hopefully they'll get stuff together and make one more good, hard, solid push for another title. And I believe that within the next 12 to 18 months that we'll see retirement.
So the Saints' offense has been a little misleading. The points scored under Bridgewater, they beat the Seahawks in Week 3, 33-27. In that win, though, there was a special teams touchdown that accounted for 7 of those points and a fumble recovery for a touchdown that accounted for 7 of those points. So really, you're looking at 19 offensive points to the 27 points scored by Seattle, and that's not impressive. 19 points with that offense. But you think about last year when the Cowboys played them, a 13-10 win.
But again, it was his first full week.
It was
running with the starters, and you give any good, solid pro the time, and you get that timing down because we all know that timing is everything, and once he gets that timing down, they're going to be something.
But on the flip side of what I just said, not giving him any credit, he was 19-27 for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, it's not like he was invisible during the win. He was there. He performed well. And the Cowboys have had issues on defense this year, of course, pressuring the quarterback, getting sacks. That's what you're going to have to do. You need to create turnovers against Bridgewater. If you give him time back there, you let him be comfortable, he's gonna perform well. He's gonna get comfortable,
right?
And he's gonna settle in. And Peyton's gonna take care of him offensively. Give him the plays that he needs to get settled in. Give him the time. If the Cowboys play like they have, except for the second half last week against the Dolphins, then Bridgewater's gonna have a heyday. They played very well in the second half.
Yep.
Gregory Quinn, by the way. Robert Quinn, not Gregory Quinn watching us.
Gregory Quinn.
You screwed me up last week when you said that. Shout out to Gregory Quinn, by the way, one of our big drunk dudes and Drunk Sports Podtards.
Mr. Billy Ferguson, Tyler Patzig, and Miss Mitzi Lubert from Quincy, Illinois is on.
Well, it's good to have her back on.
Yes. She's my son's daughter's mom.
I'm really glad that we nixed all of the bad Bears talk we were going to talk about tonight after the Monday night
I bet
game.
you don't care. I bet you don't care.
Probably not. So, game planning for this week for the Cowboys, the important thing is going to be stopping Alvin
Harper,
running back for the Saints. Alvin Harper out of retirement. Alvin Kamara, who is...
I wish it was Alvin
as
Harper.
As much as Ezekiel Elliott is the Cowboys' offense, Alvin Kamara is the...
Alvin Kamara goes, so goes the New Orleans offense.
He's currently 4th in the NFL in total scrimmage yards with 390. He has more than 160 total yards in both of New Orleans' wins this year. So you stop Kamara, you stop the Saints. So
my brother-in-law just joined.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Man, it's a popular show today. When you do Wednesday all the time.
Wednesday seems to be popular, brother.
I like we had 18 people on before we ever started.
Wednesday.
Hey, happy hump day to everybody watching, everybody listening, if you're not listening to us live. So, against the Seahawks, he had 69 yards on 16 carries, 1 touchdown. He caught 9 passes for 92 yards and a receiving touchdown. So, yes, he is the Ezekiel Elliott of the New Orleans Saints. So, you got to stop Kamara. You got to force Bridgewater to win the game.
But then you're putting the hands, if Bridgewater gets hot early and often, then you're worried about Michael Thomas, and that damn Cowboys secondary better be on their game, or Michael Thomas is going to eat their lunch.
No, you're right, absolutely. And I think that I'm more worried about the linebacking core than I am the secondary. If our linebackers can perform well, like they're supposed to, like they did last year, and put some pressure on the running game, take away that running game, give the defensive ends and the defensive line room to rush, pressure the quarterback. God, I just burped Makers. That tasted so good. I'm like, it's like doing another shot. The secondary will take care of the receivers and the tight ends. I'm not worried about that at all. I'm more worried about Jalen Smith. I'm not worried about Robert Gregory. God, that tastes good. Dude, we're gonna have Gregory now. He didn't perform well in the first half. He's got his legs.
You mean Robert Quinn?
I mean,
Because you just called him Robert Gregory.
I know.
So you didn't go over any apologies and corrections tonight.
We're all drunk. All right, so next week for apologies and corrections, I'm going to name the entire Cowboys defensive line and substitutes.
We got to put Gregory Quinn in there.
Going.
Robert Quinn, Gregory Quinn. Is there any other way to mix that up?
I saw the confused look on your face, and I wondered what I said.
Yeah, well, I had to call you out on it. I'm sorry.
No, please do, dude. That's what we do here. That's all we do here is call each other out.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So,
Give it to me, Lance. Give it to me, Lance. Push, push. Give it to me, Lance.
and this is all I have to say.
Fuck me.
But yes, so got to stop Kamara, and I will be paying especially close attention to the defense down there in New Orleans, and we'll see what happens. If New Orleans on the opposite side can't get their defense together, dude, Dak's going to have a heyday with that passing game. I don't have the stats here in front of me. I believe that KT brought this up on the Ben and Skin show on my ride home on my motorcycle today, so of course I couldn't write it down or do anything, but I believe that New Orleans is way up there in the 20 plays plus allowed category this season.
20 yards plus allowed?
20 yards plus allowed plays allowed.
Right.
And then Dallas is way up there on the 20 plus yards.
Disallowed?
No.
Not allowed?
No. The 20 plus yards plays that they've done.
Right.
That they have
made.
That they've made, yes.
Right.
So if that trend continues, man, I really need to learn to explain myself better, don't I? Oh, good God. This Wednesday night's screwing with me. I'll get used to it. I apologize, drunk dudes and dolls.
You
and
should
drunk
be a whole
sports
lot better
podcasts.
off because you haven't been drunk for 3 days going into the
No,
show.
but I've been drunk for 30 minutes going into the show.
Well,
sometimes that's worse.
Get your shit together.
So we'll see how that plays out with the Cowboys and the Saints. A little bit of history. Of course, we're aware of the big win that Dallas had last year in New Orleans that they weren't supposed to win, the 13-10 win. The Dallas defense dominated that game. But the Saints have won 4 of the last 6 against Cowboys, except for that one last season. And, of course, we mentioned the 13-10 Thursday night football matchup. The Saints with Breeze had their 10-game winning streak snapped and were held to just 176 yards and 10 points. That needs to happen again. We need the defense to pull off something like that. But because before that, they were the highest scoring offense in the NFL going into that game. The Cowboys have won the last 2 meetings in Texas and lead the all-time series 17-12. However, the Saints are 8-6 against Cowboys in New Orleans, including winning 5 of the last 6 in the Superdome. So, you know what? I have high hopes. I don't have a lot of doubts going into this game, and the Cowboys have given me plenty to be optimistic about, especially with Breeze being out. You know, I don't want to overlook Bridgewater, but
That's when the trap games come in, brother.
It
That's when
is.
the trap games always come in. But, again, that's why they're professionals and we're armchair quarterbacks.
and they're going to play
That's
the
why
game.
we do podcasts about their shit.
By the way, it is Sunday night. There is a Sunday night football watching party at Heroes
Ooh, I was
on
fixing to say,
Olive
man, you just
Street.
screwed up again. It's not Sunday night. It's only Wednesday. Ooh, man, you have been drinking today.
The game is Sunday night. Of course, the Sunday night football matchup. There's a watching party with 105.3 The Fan in downtown Dallas right there in Victory Park at Hero on Olive Street. It's right there adjacent to the AAC with the KNC Masterpiece. I plan on being down there to watch some of it. I may not stay for the whole game. Depends on how many shots Colby buys me.
Uh-oh.
Colby and I usually have a little shot contest, and it's always room temperature Jameson.
There's nothing wrong with that. I got some of that in the house.
God, don't tell me that.
Black Barrel.
Oh, that's right. We did some of that last week, didn't
Yes,
we?
sir.
Oh, my Lord. So yes, I will be there. I don't know about Big Red. He's got other things going on.
I may be at a Cold concert.
He's cold. You want to see Coldplay?
No, not Coldplay.
You know how I know you're
Cold.
gay? You
Cold.
like Coldplay.
I don't like Coldplay. It's cold.
All right, I don't know what that means.
We'll drag up some music here and play it.
We'll play it. All right.
A little bit of buffer music.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into the absolutely count. We're going to get into some short shots. And coming right out of the break, we're going to talk about Jerry Jones' interview with Sean and RJ yesterday morning on 105.3 The Fan.
I thought we were going to do another shot coming out of the break.
Well, the shot, and then content-wise,
okay.
We'll get into the Jerry interview.
I'm just worried about that shot.
And then short shots, we've got some funny Terrence Howard audio. I don't know if you watched the Emmys the other night. I didn't. I just found somebody alerted me to this audio.
Dude has lost his marbles.
He is off his rocker. And then around the NFL, we'll get into that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
When you choose a great-tasting Miller Lite, you're choosing on taste, and that's the right choice, not the wrong choice, because right is way better than wrong. You don't try to do the wrong thing. Wrong on, brother? Back off, and I don't even know you. If someone asks you if everything's all wrong, ask them to pull your finger. Ever read the Bill of Wrongs? It was written by James Battison and John Sadams. Drawing a wrong triangle? Place this protractor at 90 degrees and sit on it. What's wrong around the corner? An 8-foot ex-con named Tiny, and he wants your wallet. That's wrong up your alley. Just like the drifter feeding moldy muffin stumps to his 13 hairless cats. Got a wrong hand man? I've got a cousin named Randall with clammy hands. The customer's always wrong? Well, that explains the waiter's creepy grin as I ate my toast. Two wrongs do make a wrong. Am I wrong? Wrong. So don't make the wrong choice. Make the right choice. And choose on taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
In the game of checkers in life, sometimes you make the wrong move and get jumped. If you made the wrong move and need money fast, we're here to capitalize on that. Some people are destined to make the wrong move over and over again. It's okay. It's all right. What are possessions and life's treasures if you can't cash them in during a self-imposed crisis? At Abigo Brokerage and Pawn, we'll secure the funds you need for any collateral items you can get your hands on. Just bring in your stock, jewelry, electronics, munitions, dust, automobiles, power tools, home, movies, children, exercise equipment, pets, coin collection, or your spleen, liver, or kidney, and we'll give you cash on the spot. After all, some habits are expensive. We don't need proof of ownership. We're about the most basic exchange. Goods for money. We'll buy anything, including your dignity. Abigo Brokerage and Pawn.
The day of liberation is here. Throughout history, only the biggest and strongest survive. Being big means you're successful, and women love big men. And as a successful man, you need to feel comfortable when you're sitting down to eat. Clothes for the bigger man. Don't be bound by society, bogus medicine, and the media with their unhealthy focus on being skinny. Don't be constrained by trying to squeeze into a XXX. Bored of feeling like a man in a sausage skin in your size 48 jeans? Bored of being uncomfortable? Kilimanjaro, the clothes shop for enormous men. We're fighting to end hunger. Yours.
Hi friends, it's Chris Bussell, General Manager of the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, Texas. The Golf Center is North Dallas's premier practice facility, with over 65 grass tees, 2 putting greens, a short game area, and covered heated tees. It's the best place to practice your game all year round. Come see us in Carrollton, Texas, off Trinity Mills Road, halfway between Marsh and Midway, or visit the website at www.highlandspgc.com. Now back to Big Red and IndyCar Tim.
Is there a better return song
Maybe only one or two.
than Spirit of Radio by Rush?
Maybe only one or two.
And like I said last week, I will out air drum you any day.
Well, here, outshot me.
Outshot you another Little Red Smoky for Big Red and IndyCar Tim.
Bam. That's pretty good stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie.
And in my haste to have our second shot, because I knew it was coming out of the first break, I forgot about the segment we were going to do, the article we were going to do about ranking the 8 first-year head coaches from the NFL from worst to Matt LaFleur. We will get into that shortly. I wanted to get into the apology count, the absolutely count from last week. Mm-hmm. I don't think we did an absolutely count last week. We had a lot going on. But for those of you just joining us, not familiar with the show, when we first started the show, Lance figured out very quickly that he had a drunk crutch word. And it was very apparent because he used it quite a bit. So when Lance would get drunk and nervous, he would say,
Absolutely.
And then, of course, we were both familiar with the drop on our favorite radio station by the great Too Tall Jones.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to inculcate that. I should use a big-ass word, dude.
Is that even a word?
Inculcate?
Yes.
You never heard inculcate.
Somebody that's on here, because there's a whole lot of people on, would somebody just please tell me if that is really a word?
Inculcate.
Spell it, sir.
INCULCATE. Inculcate.
I think you made that up. I think the Timptionary is on fire.
You're going to be all over apologies and corrections.
Then I'll have to do another show shot.
All right, because that's what we do. So anyway, Lance's favorite crutch word was absolutely, and so we made a little fun show game out of it. When Lance says the word absolutely, or I say the word absolutely, everybody has to do a shot. So if you're watching this live and you hear the word,
Absolutely.
do a shot, take a chug of your beer, whatever it is you're drinking with us, have some fun with us. If you're listening to the recorded version on the podcast, as long as you're not driving, if you hear us say the word,
Absolutely.
please do a shot with us.
That would not work out well.
So the rest of you owe us 14 shots for the word
Absolutely.
last week.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate you playing with that. So
And if you're playing live, then you already owe me another one.
I wanted to get into a little bit of the Jerry interview that the boys did yesterday morning on 105.3 The Fan. The Morning Boys, Sean and RJ, we love them.
Absolutely.
They're our favorite morning show in the whole world. And Jerry comes on once a week on Tuesday mornings. And he has a lot of fun with those boys, man. I'm very envious. I did some radio interviews with some pretty famous sports people back in the day. But, man, I never got to interview Jerry Jones. And I wish I would have because, dude, he has nothing but fun with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So they talked to Jerry yesterday morning, as I mentioned, and they had some – they don't throw softballs when they interview Jerry. So coming off of the win against the Dolphins, going into the game against the Saints, Sean asked Jerry specifically if he was nervous at halftime when the Cowboys were underperforming.
Well, I'm not going to say I was nervous, but I had thought that was pretty impressive, that first drive that we made down. We just got a field goal, but I sure thought that we were, let's say, we were the best team. And I don't think I ever quit thinking that all day long. Now, it was really neat to see start clicking and see, especially in that third quarter, see us have the execution we had.
So, Big Red, were you nervous at halftime?
Yes, I was nervous at halftime. I mean, knowing –
I got to say, I was nervous too a little bit.
Knowing from the past that the adjustments that Jay Jeezy makes, I was very nervous. And adjustments were made. They were made properly. And once we got out and got rolling and Dak, again, being the opponent on the show of Dak, I was once he got going, I was a whole lot better off. So, but yeah, going into halftime, very nervous, very upset. The wife may tell you that something may have flown across the room a couple of times during the first half.
It wasn't her, was it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
And it wasn't the little white dog.
Oh God, Thor.
Thor could have been in a tight spiral across the living room, and nobody had ever known.
Good Lord. Yeah, well, I was a little nervous myself, for sure, thinking, okay, here we go again. Here's the letdown game. The Miami Dolphins are going to beat us at home and not win another game the rest of the year. So that would be just about right for the Dolphins.
We did not have a letdown game. We had a letdown half.
Right.
Because knowing that the worst possible team, the team that's probably the worst NFL team in the last
10 years.
At least. Since the 0
What
and
was
6.
it? 08 Lions, right?
Since Marinelli's Lions.
08 Lions, 0 and 16.
At least since them, if not ever, because they keep getting rid of people.
They can't be worse than the 1977 Bucks.
And
went 0 and 14.
Once they kept getting rid of people, I mean, they know they're going to lose. And, you know, the guys that are left, God bless them, they're fighting and they're playing for their football future.
Right.
I mean, every game to them is a preseason game for a third stringer. They're playing for everything they've got. And whenever we went into halftime, I think those guys finally realized, you know what? This is still a professional football game, and these guys are going to hit us in the mouth, and we've got to do something. And there were adjustments were made. I'm proud of the adjustments that were made.
Because historically, they don't make adjustments very well.
Hell no, they don't. And
I think they did.
The offense came out firing on all 8 cylinders.
Kellen Moore.
And the defense came out and decided to finally start hitting people in the mouth, and the game changed.
There's your variable. So then the boys asked Jerry if it's more nerve-wracking to be an underdog or a huge favorite. We know the Cowboys were, what did we decide, 21.5-point favorites going into the game. The first time since 1987 in the scab year that they were favored that much or more. They, of course, didn't cover that year. They won but didn't cover, and, of course, they covered this week. But, Jerry, was it more nerve-wracking to be an underdog or a huge favorite?
Well, I don't think nerve-wracking. I would say nerve-wracking. I would say that it's kind of humorous to realize how difficult when you're up 20 or 30, 20, 25 points when you're the spread is saying you'll have that kind of success, because you all know that ball is oblong, so to speak, bounces a lot of different ways, just like the onside kick they didn't get, just like the roughing the kicker they got. Those things come to play, and before you know it, you're right there in the middle of it. Then you let one happen that shouldn't happen. So that's the NFL, but that's what makes it great.
Yeah, and man, I don't know what I'd rather. I don't know what's more enjoyable as a fan. Is it to be the underdog and see the team succeed, or to be a 21.5-point favorite and see them finally pull it out and cover?
Well, I mean, we all had high hopes. Oh, dear God, what are you after?
I got it. It's the last one in the fridge. I got you.
There's a whole.
All right.
Maybe
I forgot that was there.
Why you got to throw me off like that?
I was gonna get up and take a leak right there.
No, I with the shit. I forgot where I was going.
So yes, the underdog or the heavy favorite, and you know what?
Where's the fuck me drop? I need that right now.
Give me for the betting line. If you're interested in the betting line,
Fuck me.
Thank you.
Then I would rather be the overall favorite to allow me to bet on it, and then of course you would cover.
But dude,
that's
I mean,
not necessarily real world.
I'm telling you, I can't believe the numbers got that high with them and the Pats. I mean, because in the betting world, especially in professional sports, that's a huge number.
Yeah, especially in the NFL.
I would have never put money on the Cowboys or the Pats last week for that.
Nope. The boys wanted to know about Kellen Moore, what Jerry's thoughts are on Kellen Moore. Of course, we're all paying attention to his offense, and they have shown nothing but success and excitement. The relationship between Kellen Moore and Dak is special. And moving forward, they asked Jerry what he has seen in Kellen specifically about his ability to run this offense and his game planning and just the Cowboys' overall success on offense this season.
Well, he's not afraid to pull the trigger. And I had a great friend of mine pass recently, Boone Pickens. And Boone sent a letter out to be sent after his death. Said, if you're reading this, I'm gone. But in the letter it said, I'm often asked why I've enjoyed some of the success. And he says, because I never got the ready aim syndrome. I always had the ready aim fire. Ready aim fire.
Yes, sir.
And that's the key. and Kellen will obviously make the call, and he'll call the play and go for it.
So yes, Kellen Moore has been the difference this season so far on offense. At least it looks like he has. And we all had questions going in here. Would Dak look the same? Would he look different? Would this be the same offense? Would it be a different offense? You and I on these airwaves had discussions, heated discussions about that. Mike Fisher cleared that up.
Holy hell, son. Mickey Fisher's a great character, but we don't have him, and I can't do him.
I can, but I'm not going to right now. Well, find out. So, yes, Jerry apparently nothing but satisfied with the performance of Kellen Moore going into this going into the season. Then he was asked about Robert Quinn. Specifically his debut. Of course, it was his first performance this year. And the sack dance.
Against his former team.
Jerry was asked about his sack dance specifically. Well, that's one of the best I've seen riding that pony. Now, you know what's fun? Sometimes Zeke will do something like that. He'll put a towel on or he'll put some shorts on or something and head down through the middle of the dressing room, kind of spanking himself as he emulates the riding a horse. But
God, I love Jerry.
And that's before a game, so you can see how what a asset he is on and off the field to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm talking Zeke Prescott, but Zeke Elliott. But bottom line is Robert Quinn brings that to the table as well. He's a veteran. On the other hand, he plays with the exuberance of a rookie. And his game is just sheer energy. And if he's got an issue at all, it's kind of thwarting his tendency to run by the quarterback a little bit. But, boy, he's back there, and he's messing with him. And he's just an outstanding contributor. I don't know when we've been in better shape. If you look at Lawrence on one end, Quinn on the other, and everything in between. We've got a good defensive front. A lot of credit should go to Rod and guys that really have developed these guys. That Hyder's really special for us inside and out. Got a lot of position flex. He played every position. Hyder did last week.
So Jerry's excited about the depth. It sounds like he really enjoyed that touchdown or that sack dance by Robert Quinn, which we all did, especially against his old team. You know, he was happy, number one, to be back on the field.
I may do that on my next round of golf when I make a putt.
I might do that the next time in the bedroom when I make the lady.
Around the bed.
So Jerry's excited about the depth and even the rookies coming up. But, dude, he loves him some Robert Quinn, and rightfully so. Next, the boys asked about they want to know, is Jerry disappointed in the defense? Have they underachieved this year, giving up so many yards on defense? Or what his thoughts were on that?
Why don't we maybe point to that our offense has been so outstanding that it's kind of caught our attention. But the facts are, when you don't, in the NFL, you keep somebody from scoring a touchdown, that's pretty stellar work. And so what I do see that is important is a defensive group that is, to overuse the word, evolving, coming together. We've got some young guys on this defensive front. We're playing a lot of young guys. We're getting a lot of people played in that secondary. We're actually playing more linebackers than anybody would have guessed, and we've got a heck of a rotation. A lot of fresh guys coming in and out on that defensive front. I think it's healthy.
Well, and I agree. He didn't really address the question so much as he did bring the attention back to the offense.
Does Jerry ever really address the question?
No, and it's funny because the last question of this interview, he pretty much flat out addresses that scenario. It's really funny, but. You know, and I agree with him. I have no problem with the Cowboys allowing, we mentioned this earlier, 500 yards per game, 600 yards per game, when it's only 13 points, 10 points, 17 points.
Bend but don't break, baby.
Yeah, and that's been their philosophy. I have zero issues with that.
That is always Marinelli's philosophy. And it didn't work when he was the head coach of the Lions, but, I mean, it's working now.
Because his philosophy then on defense was break. So it is what it is. So the boys asked Jerry again. This is the interview with Jerry Jones from Sean and RJ on 105.3 The Fan yesterday morning. Jerry, is it a letdown that Breeze won't be playing this week? We know you want to play the best, so is it really a letdown?
Oh no, they have so much team-wise that to compete with, as they illustrated against Seattle, out in Seattle of all places. But listen, from top to bottom down there, Mickey Lomas, and of course Sean, and they're built for action and built to play and built to win football games. And they're thinking way ahead. They look around corners, to use some cliches here. But that Teddy Bridgewater, everybody knows that he's a talented football player, and he's very capable of, with people like Sean Payton tutoring him, he's very capable of being all you want at quarterback. And so, no, I don't see anything but
Check 1, 2. What do we see?
Hello?
I believe we might be back.
Are we? Hang on.
I believe we might be back.
Are we? Are we really?
Breaker 1-9, Breaker 1-9.
Need a radio check.
If you're on the broadcast and you got your ears on,
Need a radio check.
let me hear from you.
Need a radio check.
But it looks like we're good. Actually, the stream never stopped because it still shows 52 minutes, but a lot of that was dead air. But I'm waving. It's live. We're back. We got our beer. Kelly says we're in, baby. Kelly, when are you going to come on with us, man, and promote some business? You need to come on, brother, promote what you own, where you're at, and throw us some promos.
Dude, it never stops.
That's what I just said.
I don't understand.
I don't either, but I don't care.
Hey, you know what? Hey,
thanks, Bill Gates and Paul Allen.
Hey,
rest in peace, Paul.
One more. Here we go. Here we go.
For off the air. There we go.
Thank you, kids, for staying on with us.
We hope y'all are staying with us and doing these shots. We're in the middle of the
Holy
Jerry
macaroni
audio from 105.3 The Fan yesterday morning with Sean and RJ. We're going to jump right back into that. So I'm glad it was kind of in the middle of the question and not the audio that this happened. But so they got into some touchy areas there here towards the end. We got 2 questions left. They asked Jerry about any breaking news concerning contract talks this week for Dak and or Amari.
Oh, well, not today. I just think the best thing that I can say is how well both those players are working together. And if their status right now has anything to do with that, then let's keep it going. And I'm talking their overall status. But, boy, that Amari put on a clinic out there on route running, as you all know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You're talking about going deep. You're talking about showing speed. You're talking about willingness to take it deep as a quarterback. I don't know that you can scare them anymore for the future than to give a clinic on Amari Cooper's route running. Those routes were unbelievable to have his size and quickness in and out those routes. So that's got to get him a lot of attention, and he can win with that attention. But boy, it sure makes it a great day potentially for a Cobb we all saw what he brings to the table. He's just a instinctive playmaker. On the interception, he came back and arguably made the best play of the game when he knocked the ball out of the interceptor's hands, and it was just such an aware play. And that's what you got when you get Cobb on the field.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so, of course, no contract talks between Jerry and Dak and Amari, but he says they're both working very well together, and he's excited about the future there. And then, of course, the $1 million question. I love the way the guys phrased this. I can't play it because they don't work for the podcast, but they asked about Jason and his contract extension possibilities before the end of the regular season here on cut number 8.
Well, again, would not even, I'm not ignoring your question, but I certainly wouldn't want to respond in any way because that's just not what we'd want to do relative to that area of our business.
So short and sweet, the answer was no. He will not comment on if Dak will have a contract extension before the end of the year or if they're in the talks. So my quick analysis of that answer is they're going to wait till the end of the season.
I
believe that's in Dak's best interest.
The boys, the midday boys, Ben and Skim, were talking, and KT seems to think that the cutoff will be the bye week. And
which is when for them? I don't remember.
Week 7, is that somewhere in there?
That might be right.
But I mean, hell, don't quote me. I've been drinking Makers and beer, so. But yeah, it somewhere in there, and I have believed all year that if it doesn't get done by the bye week, then they will hold off till the end of the year.
Well, and again, I believe that's in Dak's best interest the way he's performing so far. And by no means does that mean that $40 million a year is in the works. I don't think that's going to happen. Hey, Chris Odell Peoples, what's up, brother? My buddy from high school. We go way back, and he got me some sweet deals on some Harley boots, by the way. Love me some Chris. But, yes, no $40 million, but I also don't think that Patrick Mahomes will be anywhere in the $40 million range. He'll be closer than Dak. And I believe that Mahomes
Dude, they're talking.
Well, if he wins the MVP this year, all bets are off again. But I believe he and Dak will be very close. Interesting that comes up because there's – and I don't have it in front of me. I wish I did. I meant to print this off, and I couldn't find it. Somewhere out there is a media outlet saying that Dak is having a better year than Pat Mahomes. And they threw up a quarterback rating stat that I couldn't find anywhere to confirm. So I will not come on my airwaves and say that
I cannot confirm nor deny
Dak is having a better year than Pat Mahomes, although the stats are very, very close. From what I remember, Dak, I believe, has the interception. Mahomes has none this year, but they both have 7 touchdowns. The yards are very, very close. But I'm not going to come on here and say Dak's having a better year, but I will say they are close. I do think they're close. And Mahomes gets all the hype, and rightfully so.
He's the hot. I mean, he's the hot commodity.
He's the hot
right
commodity. So you know what? Good for him. Good for Dak. Good for Mahomes. We appreciate the fan letting us use that audio. Good stuff from Jerry and Sean and RJ. Again, Jerry is on with Sean and RJ on 105.3 The Fan here in Dallas every Tuesday morning. God, that wasn't even close, dude.
It's like you were throwing at my wife's head or something.
Jesus, and she's not even here.
I know. That's what I'm worried about.
We're going to jump into some short shots because we have some more really funny audio for you. If you guys are familiar with the actor known as Terrence Howard, I believe is the way his name is pronounced.
Terrence.
I only know him from being the first Colonel whoever on the first Iron Man movie. And then apparently he was too big time to be in the rest of the Iron Man and Avengers movies, so he left.
I bet he second guesses that.
And Don Cheadle took his place. But, well, Terrence Howard's been on this.
He second guesses that business decision, I'm sure.
Man, I don't know, does he? He's been on this Fox show Empire for I don't know how many years it's been on.
Oh, well, come on.
I don't know what they're paying him, but it can't be Avengers money,
It can't
right?
be Avengers money. I mean, how many movies has Don Cheadle been in?
So getting into short shots.
I mean, even though he can't walk now. Because
Terrence Howard, the actor.
He's paralyzed from the waist down.
He is quitting acting.
That's just the movie, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Don Cheadle. Terrence Howard has announced, I guess, widely, and I'm not familiar with this at all, but he's announced that he's quitting acting after the show ends, and I guess the show is imminent. They've already announced it. I don't watch it. I'm not a fan of Terrence Howard. Don't give a crap about Terrence Howard. But when I found out about this audio, and thank you to a listener for alerting me to this, I don't remember your name, who you are, or where you came from. I will find the email, and I will congratulate you on the air.
Yes, if somebody does that, I will buy you a bucket of beer.
So Don,
of your choosing.
I keep saying Don Cheadle now. Terrence Howard was being interviewed at the Emmys by this man and woman, and I don't remember who they are or what show they're from. I had it in front of me, but I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
But, hey, kudos, first of all, to them for holding it together during this interview, because when you hear it, you're going to wonder how that happened. But here's Terrence Howard at the Emmys just a few days ago.
All waves are curved, so where does the straight lines come from
that's not
to
the
make
whole
the
thing.
platonic solids?
So there's a preview. Here's the whole interview.
Lucius is in the house. Terrence Howard here. You made huge headlines when you said, after you complete these 15 episodes of Empire, you got to walk away for a while or forever?
For good. I mean, everyone keeps trying to tell me, don't say it's forever. But I've spent 37 years pretending to be people so that people can pretend to watch and enjoy what I'm doing when I've made some discoveries in my own personal life with the science that, Pythagoras was searching for. I was able to open up the flower of life properly and find the real wave conjugations that we've been looking for 10,000 years. Why would I continue, walking on water for tips when I've got an entire generation to teach a whole new world?
That's a big remark. Yeah. What do you intend to do?
Well, let me put it this way. All energy in the universe is expressed in motion. All motion is expressed in waves. All waves are curves. So where does the straight lines come from to make the platonic solids?
Holy
there are no
shit.
straight lines. So when I took the flower of life and opened it properly, I found a whole new wave conjugations that expose the in-between spaces. It's the thing that holds us all together. I'm sharing that on Tuesday when I receive my star. I'm going to be able to prove that gravity is only an effect and not a force. I'm putting something on YouTube where I will build the planet Saturn without gravity and build the Milky Way galaxy without gravity.
Did you also say you're getting your star on TV?
Yeah.
On the Walk of Fame?
On the Walk of Fame,
Well,
which is interesting.
congratulations.
How am I getting a star when I've never, for TV, when I've never received an Emmy nomination for TV?
You're a presenter tonight. You can do whatever you want when you stand in front of that microphone. What are you going to do?
I have no idea. I'm just being honest and looking at it. You know, I would think an Emmy nomination would come first.
How high is that dude?
I have no words.
I have it's just like whenever we played the fish story. When I played the fish story for Stacy, Stacy said, "I have no words for you." I have no words for you, Tim. I had no words.
I told you, you had not heard that until just now.
That's.
And when I heard it for the first time, I thought, well, for sure this has been edited.
That's 2.5 minutes I'll never get back.
I thought for sure this has been edited, but I looked it up and I found the audio online. I saw the interview, the actual interview on YouTube. And again, kudos to the dude and the chick. The chick's really hot, by the way. That's why she's on TV.
E.T.?
No, it wasn't E.T. I don't remember what it was, but they were covering the Emmys. But, man, kudos to them for holding it together through all of that and then coming up with a follow-up question. But Terrence Howard, you need a hug, brother.
Off his rocker.
You need a hug of the highest proportion.
I ain't hugging him. That shit may be contagious.
I want what he's on.
The hell I don't.
I want to open the flower of life.
I got a story for you here in a little bit, and
Lord. Also, a Tulsa man has used digital billboards to declare love for his wife, making the rest of male humanity look like idiots. So thanks to this guy, apparently he bought advertising space on 8 digital billboards around town to tell his wife that he loves her. Josh Wilson, the owner of Living Water Irrigation, said he initially bought the billboard space as advertisement for his business, but after studying his business's income and expenses, which means he figured out he didn't have any money.
Right.
It turned out that the billboards weren't doing much for his company, so he decided to change the message to declare to the Tulsa metro area how much he loves his wife, Amy. On the Lamar digital billboards in Tulsa, Wilson's sign reads, "Amy, I love you more," with his company's logo in the corner. Okay, so he still wrote it off. He had the company logo, so it was still a write-off.
It's still a write-off, yeah. Well,
Wilson told Fox 23 in Tulsa that he is not in trouble or anything. Maybe that was my first question. What'd you do? Right?
Yeah. Who'd
you do? What'd you do?
Not what. Who?
He said he simply wanted to share his love for his wife, and that is complete BS. "I'm not in trouble. I'm not in the doghouse," Wilson said. "I'm just in love with my wife. The Wilsons have been married for 5 years. There's your problem. They had been married long enough." He said the billboard was a way to show her how much I appreciate her for putting up with a lot of stuff I do. Again, not a lot of stuff I do, probably a lot of people he does.
Well, I mean,
I'm guessing.
he doesn't have 7 kids or 17 kids like you do.
He said that stuff was running his own small business, which at times can be a hassle.
Or
editorial,
chasing other chicks.
Chasing other chicks and all the hookers.
Yep.
Into editorial. Fox 23 asked if the billboards raise the bar when it comes to impressing your significant other in the Tulsa area, and Wilson said his friends and customers have said his actual signs of affection will be hard to top. "I have a message for you, Mr. Josh Wilson in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you ever show your face in the Dallas area,
somebody will never find your body."
Not somebody. Well, yeah. Big Red and IndyCar Tim will personally find you, and harm will be done to your person.
Nobody will ever find your body.
Nobody will know who you are.
Damn it, sucks.
On good news.
Good news?
On good news for Short Shots.
Oh,
a
yeah.
German court has ruled that hangovers are medical conditions, and a doctor's note can excuse you from work. How do you feel about that? Because I'm ecstatic. You know why?
Dude,
I mean, we're not in Germany.
If this was Germany proper, I could be. No, I wouldn't. I mean, people know me, but we could be absent.
I don't know where you're going with that.
We could be absent from work for half
Every day.
the week. I could make it every week.
So, yes.
We would have a show 7 days a week.
So, you know what this is called? This is called a precedent, an international precedent. You know what happens with precedents?
It's not a president. They only serve 4 years.
I think it's SC, precedent. Do you know what happens with precedents? They spread.
You're not drunk enough yet.
They spread.
That would have fucked you up.
You know what's coming to America? This ruling. You know the first state.
No, it's not. No, this is not coming to America.
You know the first state that's
we
going
are
to
not
adopt
a
it.
socialist. We are not a socialist.
Texas.
No, we are not
the
socialist.
socialist-run.
Nope.
Texas.
Nope.
And you know what I'm doing the first day after this is passed?
Getting drunk.
Well, I'm doing that the night before, and then I'm getting a doctor's note and calling in sick the next day.
Asshole.
Dude, would we ever show up at work if this was a thing?
No.
Would that be could you call drunkenness a chronic illness at that point?
No,
I'm having an
they
issue.
call
I'm
it.
having
They
a
call
bout
it.
of
No,
drunkenness.
they call it a disease. Alcoholism is a disease.
I'm having a bout of drunkenness. I need off this week.
Yeah, I'm having. Yeah, I've got the Anheuser virus.
I'm not even going there. The city of Dallas approved finally Dirk Street, Dirk Nowitzki Boulevard, Dirk Way. What's it called? Nowitzki Way, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Nowitzki Way. But you know what would have been funnier? I have two observations on this, or three. I have three observations on this. Number one,
how about fade away?
Number one, I honestly thought this was done a long time ago. Number two, they should have called it Nowitzki Way, right?
Well, I mean,
wouldn't that be funny?
It could be pronounced that way.
And number three, how many times is the street sign going to be stolen by us?
I'm stealing it the first time.
I'm stealing it the second time. How many times a year are they going to have to replace these street signs?
Why didn't they?
Because I'm taking all of them.
Why didn't they just call it Fada Way?
You forgot the knee.
I
It's got to have
it
a picture
right
of
here.
them on it, right?
Fada Way.
And then Lance had a funny story about an MMA fighter.
It's not funny, man. It's gross. But I'm going to tell you this. We'll let the AP tell the story about an MMA fighter who lost hold of reality.
Is that his picture?
During a
Is that the fighter or the guy that got
drug
slaughtered?
trip with his friend and sparring partner. When police arrived on March 21st of 2010, it's an old story, but it's still relevant.
Still
at a
funny.
home at the mouth of the Kalmouth River, they found Wyatt naked, covered in blood. He told the officers, "I killed him." He said he had cut out Taylor Powell's heart and tongue, according to court documents. The officers found Powell's body on the couch. His chest was cut open, and his heart, tongue, and skin on his face were gone. We got a fish attack. That's a big fish attack. Court records said his heart was found charred in a wood-burning stove.
Call me.
Yeah, don't call me after that. I'm out. An autopsy determined the organs had been removed while Powell was still alive.
How do they know that? Like, I'm not a doctor. But I guess you can figure that out, right?
That's why we're not medical examiners.
But, I mean, technically, if the heart is removed while it's beating, then you immediately are dead.
Somehow they can tell that by the
All right.
blood.
I watched enough episodes of what is it, CSI Miami.
Yeah, what the... Bow, bow. Witnesses said the two ingested hallucinogenic mushrooms before the attack and believed they were involved in a struggle between God and the devil.
She will
Wyatt,
be sore for the next week.
She would be if I took the skin off her face. Wyatt was reportedly convinced that the world was about to come to an end and that Powell was the devil.
Ugh.
I currently have no desire to ever try mushrooms.
No, and I've done mushrooms, not illegally, but in a place where they were legal, just so everyone knows. They did not that for me.
I hope not.
They did not that for me.
You'd have removed somebody's heart and tongue and
that was
skin from their face.
That was abrasive.
You know that I could have, if I took the skin from your face, I could have a full beard.
You could.
I could.
You could wear my face as a beard.
I mean,
how would that look on camera?
I've cut mine. Yours would look a whole lot different because you would not have a beard anymore.
All right.
Or a face.
All right. We're getting close to out of hand again. We're going to rein things in.
Oh, God. Who wants to do that?
Well, I do because it's a Wednesday night. It's not a Sunday night. Actually, I have to work tomorrow.
So do I.
I know. You always do. But you work from home.
No, I don't.
We have some Goodbye Globe Life Park sentiments, but I kind of now want to save that until the actual Globe Life Park ends. They're playing the Red Sox tonight, the last series for the entire stadium, and the Rangers.
The
relationship
New York
is next week, and the freaking New York Yankees. So please,
spank me,
everyone, for the love of God, get out in your Rangers colors, blue and red, and don't let the final pictures of Globe Life Park be taken with a bunch of freaking pinstripes sitting in the seats.
Jason, I'll allow you to be out there with your lovely wife and your kids, but don't screw it up.
But I have some very strong feelings about this, and they're not the kind of feelings you would think. But we don't have time to get into it because that's probably going to take a full segment. I don't want to get into that now.
We will do a Goodbye Globe Life Park on next Wednesday.
Yes, we will.
And we may even have
We will do a whole thing.
We may even have an interview or two.
We will.
Stashed away. Maybe.
Oh, wow. Dude, I can't wait for that. I can't wait to hear that. Let's get into some around the NFL for going into week 4. How you like them apples? There was a funny tweet from The Athletic in Kansas City regarding Patrick Mahomes. It said, in case you missed it,
Patrick Mahomes
has thrown 36% of Troy Aikman's career touchdowns in about 8% of the games.
Why'd you have to hit the table?
I didn't touch the table.
You did. I know
the former Dallas Cowboys quarterback who won 3 Super Bowls dropped his rings on the table for The Athletic and Mahomes and replied, in case you missed it, talk to me when he has 33% of my Super Bowl rings. And I got nothing but kudos for Troy Aikman.
Thank you, number 8.
Freaking funny.
Awesome. That's
now,
awesome.
to clarify, he has nothing against Mahomes.
Nope, he doesn't.
But he doesn't like a media outlet using his stats as a benchmark to diminish him or any other quarterback. So the era that Aikman played in is totally different from the current era. You can't touch quarterbacks or wide receivers without getting a flag. And when Aikman played, and before that, there was a lot more contact, which made it a lot harder to beef up passing stats. So
if Miami CSI was on site for all the Cowboy games, they would have probably investigated Aikman's murder 17 or 18 times during his career.
Yep.
I mean, so yeah.
So back when Aikman played, throwing for 3,000 yards in a season was a big deal. Well, now guys are throwing for 4,000 or more, and it's just a decent year. So we love Troy, man. I have some feelings about Troy. I love the adult that he's become after watching him grow up. And he's a little older than me.
We discussed this
off. We grew up together.
We discussed this off the air. I don't think he's any older than any of us.
No, he is. I think.
I don't think so.
He's early 50s. He's a Heisman contender in '89. Lost to Barry Sanders. So that was my senior year in high school. You were a year ahead of me, right? '88. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know things.
We're good.
All right.
We're good.
The NFL power rankings going into week 4. I don't really want to get into that other than the fact that I looked at CBS Sports power rankings and I looked at NFL.com's power rankings. CBS had Dallas number 5, and NFL had Dallas number 4 behind the Patriots, the Chiefs, and the Rams, and then Dallas. The CBS had, here it is, CBS had Dallas, 5th. Patriots, Packers were 2nd on CBS.
Wow, Packers.
Chiefs 3rd, Rams 4th, Cowboys 5th.
Arnie, you're welcome. Don't ever say I didn't give you anything, because if you show up next week when you're in town and you start talking shit, you will be the only Packer-clad people in my house, and I may have to dig a small grave.
Well, dude, we talked about the Packers before the season started. I picked the Vikings to win that division. The defense has played about like I thought they would, but dude, with the new, and it is a new offense. With the new offense, freaking, what's his name? I don't like his name. State Farm guy.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, the State Farm guy. Discount double check, whatever his name is. Spells his last name wrong, by the way. He's playing better than I thought he would going into a new offense at his age. You don't teach an old dog new tricks. But he's doing better than I thought he would. But he is not. They are not the second highest ranked team in the NFL.
No, and I believe to myself, and we will ask Arnie personally next weekend if he believes that, because I hopefully believe that my friend will say, no, you're right. They don't deserve to be the number 2 rated team in the.
But you know what? The best part of both of these lists, the Eagles in both lists fell like 5 spots.
They should,
because they're terrible. And by the way, Wentz isn't hurt. He's healthy. He's playing.
Yeah, but
he's just sucking.
His receiving crew is.
Aguilar can't catch. Did you see that meme going around Facebook today with
Jackson is hurt. Who's
the Seahawks player that has one hand, the defensive back that they drafted? This the brother of the other dude.
Yeah, I'm not a good. Yeah,
but you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly.
There's a picture of him with one arm and his nub up with a ball about to catch, and it said, still a better receiver than Nelson Aguilar.
That's cool.
It's funny.
That's a good meme.
I dig that
That's
stuff.
a good meme.
So, yes, we'll look into next week after the Cowboys beat the Saints, where everybody is on their top 10. More around the NFL. London Fletcher was just inducted to the Washington Redskins Ring of, you said it was the Ring of Fame. I kept calling it Ring of Honor.
Right. Ours is the Ring of Honor.
Theirs is the Ring of Fame, in which they have, cannot believe this number, 50 now members.
50. That's stupid.
In the Ring of Fame. And we will get into this in more detail next week.
If I played 14 games for the Redskins, I
in
could
the
have been in the Ring of Fame. No, I couldn't. But
no, you would be.
No.
You're in our Ring of Fame.
You're
in the Drunk Sports Ring of Fame. Dude, we need to have one of those right behind us.
2 of us.
Just me and you.
That's it.
We're doing it. It's happening. I just invented something new. So, yes, London Fletcher just inducted at halftime of the Monday Night Football game last week against the Bears, in which they got slaughtered. And Big Red, what was interesting about that induction?
Well, the best thing is, the worst thing is they misspelled his name. The best thing is they didn't misspell his name bad enough to make it London Felcher.
It should have been.
If it was London Felcher, and if you have a problem with that, look it up. It's a word.
We all know who London Felcher is.
Look it up. There's a definition for Felcher out there. But no, they misspelled his name. They spelled it, what was it? London, shit, where is it, son?
I told you.
London Flechter.
London Flechter.
London
Flechter on the Jumbotron. They spelled it right when they dropped the curtain from his name on the side
God
of the stadium.
they did that shit right.
But on the Jumbotron, it was incorrect and funny as hell. And you know what? That's just a testament to that organization and where they are right now.
I'm surprised they didn't hang.
And next week, we tried to get him on this week. Next week, we're going to have the Washington Redskins superfan Tony Ellis on with us here live in Studio 69 at Casa
Is he a super fan of the Redskins,
yeah,
or is he a super fan of the Drunk Sports Podcast?
He's both.
Well, no, I mean, he needs to make a choice. If he wants to be on this show, he's going to be a super fan.
He's from there, so I let him root for them, but I let him root for us as well. Oh. Hey, but if we ever play the Washington Redskins, he has to make a choice. Who he wants more.
That's the last game of the year.
Yeah. The Drunk Sports Podcast versus the Washington Redskins in, what are we going to play? Ping pong? We'll figure it out
No.
later. Not a big deal.
No.
So Mr. Tony Ellis will be joining us next week in studio because I have several issues with the Washington Redskins, as does the NFL, but I have the biggest issue with their Ring of Fame. The fact that London Felcher was inaugurated to the Ring of Fame after playing only 7 years, and I associate him more with the Rams.
You're
not
welcome,
even as a
friend.
Redskin.
You're welcome.
But we'll get into that. There are several other just atrocities in the Washington Redskins Ring of Fame that we'll get into next week with him. Melvin Gordon says he will report to the San Diego Chargers on Thursday, ending his holdout because, number one, he's an idiot. Number two, nobody wants him. Number three, he's not worth what he's asking for. Number four, he's going broke. So he will join the team, and he will play.
He needs beer money.
We all need beer money. The Redskins, just heard this today. Case Keenum is hurt and is most likely out. However, instead of going with their new rookie phenom, Dwayne Haskins Jr., I forgot where he was picked for the Redskins. Their number one pick last year, first round.
Yep.
They're trying to hurry up and get Colt McCoy ready to start for them, who hasn't played or practiced all year because of the injury to him last year after Alex Smith got hurt. So this tells me that, dude, number one, they have zero faith in their first-round pick, Dwayne Haskins. Number two, they have zero faith that he's ready to play. And number three, for a franchise with already a lost season after 3 games, they're scared to put their rookie in.
And Jay Gruden is fighting for his job.
He is coaching for his job. They will get run out of town by the Giants this week, and he will be run out of town.
Nope.
Look for Jay Gruden to get fired this week after they lose to the other lowly NFC East team, the Giants.
The New York Football
You mentioned this. Cam Newton's out.
Cam Newton is out.
And you know who doesn't care?
With the Liz Frank injury on his foot.
You know who doesn't care?
You don't.
No. The entire city of Charlotte, North Carolina. You know why? Because they've got Gardner Minshew fever, baby.
Gardner Minshew? That's the wrong team.
No, it's not.
No, Minshew is
he's
Jacksonville. Yeah. No, right now they've got Kyle Allen
They have
fever.
Kyle Allen fever.
They got
That's what I
Kyle
meant.
Allen fever.
My bad.
Who was the
Gig 'em, baby.
Who was the second of the 3 quarterbacks at A&M back in the day.
Gig 'em, baby.
Yeah, well, I mean,
They're going to join that Josh Allen train.
Gig 'em lost all that shit.
He will grow the
that
Gardner
year.
Minshew mustache, and nobody will freaking care about Cam Newton ever again, except those of you who went to Auburn.
Yep.
He's a miserable human
yeah.
being, and I hope he never plays football ever again.
Reports coming out of Carolina suggest that the surgery will not be an option here. That means Newton could miss anywhere between 4 to 8 weeks as he recovers. The Panthers have a bye week in week 7, and they may not bring Newton back until after that. We'll see how this progresses, and if they feel like a return in November is possible, Kyle Allen continues as a starter for the Panthers. So that is all of this is from our friends from footballguys.com, but this is from The Athletic, from Joseph Person.
And you had a deal about the future of the New York Giants running back position.
Yep. Saquon Barkley he has a high ankle sprain that can linger if not given enough time to heal. The reports from around the league indicate they could be looking at a 4 to 8 week absence, the longer time period more likely for the talented back. Barkley is also scheduled to meet with Dr. Robert Anderson for an additional opinion on Wednesday, today, September the 25th. But they have also reached out and looked at 2 additional running backs, and I want you to tell me.
Wilbur Montgomery.
I'm not going to make you guess the guys because you're not going to guess them, but I'm going to give you a name, and I want you to guess at his age. Mr. from the University of Texas, Fozzie Whitaker.
Didn't he play for Darryl Royal?
No, but wasn't he on the Muppets?
Fozzie Bear Whitaker. Chris Berman will tell you he was on the Muppets.
And Zach Zinner recently worked out for the Giants.
Is that the best that's out there for free agent running backs? No, it's not. Is
Fozzie Whitaker.
Where's Emmitt Smith?
He's retired, and he's got grayer beards than we do.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's a handsome man.
Yeah, it doesn't get much prettier. The team is also taking a look at Benny Cunningham.
We have an alarm situation
Holy
outside.
shit balls, Andy. They need to add another running back to be active to the active roster. Wayne Gallum is the only healthy running back they have, with Saquon Barkley banged up. Elijah Penny is a fullback, and the team has 2 running backs, John Hillman and Austin Walter, on the practice squad.
So you know what's going to happen now with the New York Giants, don't you? Barkley's going to be out, just as Daniel Jones comes into his own, starting the rest of the season.
Wait,
let me finish. Can't I finish? Let me finish. Can't I finish?
Shut up, dude.
Saquon's out. Daniel Jones is going to come into his own. We're not going to have any games with Jones and Barkley playing together
for 8 weeks.
For at least 8 weeks until the end of the season. The season will already be lost for them. They're going to come back next year with Jones with a year under his belt. Barkley now with a year and a half, partially injured season under his belt. They're going to draft well under Pat Shurmur. They're going to go back next year in 2020 and fight for the division behind Jones and Barkley. What the hell is happening with our Kansas situation?
You got too much fucking hot air blowing on it. You need to stop talking for a minute.
Dude, here's my prediction. The Giants will win the division. At least one. Yeah. Maybe not 2020, but 2021 they will be fighting Dallas for the division, while the Eagles are fighting for a cellar spot because Wentz will be out of the league.
Well, yeah, okay.
How you like that?
I'm good with that. But so as long as I feel bad for Daniel Jones, man.
I don't.
No, I'm talking about as a human, not as a Cowboy fan.
No.
As a Cowboy fan, I could not be happier. But as a human being, Daniel Jones, I laughed at the number 6 pick.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
By the way, who didn't laugh?
You did not.
Why? What did I say?
Because he's good. He was going to be good. But he had shit going in the right direction. And then with Saquon going down, I mean, you've got his offense is now nothing. They're going to put everything on him, and we're going to see how good that boy is. With all this talk, we're going to see how good Daniel Jones is. Because
without Saquon,
they have no running game. Nobody is going to be scared of anybody coming out of that backfield.
See, that's why I like this even better. As a Cowboys fan and as a fan of Daniel Jones.
As a Cowboy fan.
Why I'm a fan of Daniel Jones? Because he's the underdog. I don't like Duke. I don't like the Giants. I don't give a crap about anybody.
We like underdogs.
But I like underdogs. I liked Eli. Dude, Eli was my guy because I'm a Manning dude because of Archie and in the Saints connection.
You liked him because he had fucking permanent ass
fucking
dumb
kid
face.
after him.
He had dumb face.
Well, I have dumb face too.
Well,
so I'm pulling for Daniel Jones.
I would never say that on the air.
Personally, but not professionally. I do like Daniel Jones. We'll see what he's made of as a rookie quarterback. By the way, picked over who in the NFC East?
All of them.
Haskins.
Yep.
The Redskins are afraid to freaking put on the field. So we're going to take another quick break, and then we've got one more thing to go over. We're going to talk about Week 4 picks.
We might have another shot, maybe.
And we'll probably have another shot. So we will be right back.
Doubtful.
Doubtful or definite?
I mean, Daddy's got to work tomorrow.
Well, so do I. I got to ride my motorcycle at some point. We'll be back right after this.
You know, I finally found a beer I can respect. Light beer from Miller. It tastes great. But what I really like is it's less filling. Light has 1/3 less calories than their regular beer. I tell you, I got to watch myself. This is a tough place. Well, this place is so tough, the hat check girl's name is Dominic. In a place like this, I got to move fast. I can't afford to get filled up. I tell you, I don't get no respect.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's all-new chocolate chip cigarettes. the only cigarettes that give you cavities while you're waiting for the lung cancer to set in.
Today, there's a beer for everyone.
Hey, me and the guys are going out for beer. You want to come along? Nah, I got a lot of data to enter into the computer tonight.
Now, there's a brew for the future.
Want me to bring you something back? Thanks, but I got some right here.
Microsoft Brew.
You got a beer tap on your computer?
With a head so thick you can float a mouse on it.
Let me get this straight. You make your own beer with the computer? With the right software, you can do anything.
Microsoft Brew.
Here, I call this one Windows 95. I don't know, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
And if you got to get there quicker, try the new ISDN malt liquor.
At Miller Lite, we believe if you're not choosing a light beer with more taste, you need to man up, not man down. 'Cause up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad to cheer down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile. And you just stepped in it. Giddy down, cowboy? You must be saddled on a blind three-legged jackass. Struggling to make down your mind? Let me help you. Yes, wear pants today. Looking for a down-and-coming neighborhood? Try Cell Block 4C. Great view with lots of bars nearby. Got a job at a start down company? Let me guess. You slap buckets on a street corner. Getting pumped down for your big party? It's in a chat room and the only guest is Bernie, the 67-year-old retired clown. Oh, and your girlfriend's not wearing a push-down bra. It's called gravity, Isaac Nitwit. Can I be down front with you? All this down talk is bringing me down. So don't man down, man up, and choose a light beer with more taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Hi, friends. It's Chris Bussell, General Manager of the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, Texas. The Golf Center is North Dallas's premier practice facility. With over 65 grass tees, 2 putting greens, a short game area, and covered heated tees, it's the best place to practice your game all year round. Come see us in Carrollton, Texas, off Trinity Mills Road, halfway between Marsh and Midway, or visit the website at www.highlandspgc.com. Now back to Big Red and IndyCar Tim.
Hey guys, it's Gavin Spittle, the Hockey Hawk of 105.3 The Fan. Every time I listen to the Drunk Sportscast, I want to drop the gloves and go at it. That's how good this show is.
People think Billy and I argue all the time. Actually, we agree on just about everything. Right, Bill?
Yeah, you betcha, George.
We even drink the same beer.
Light beer from Miller. Light's got a third less calories than the regular beer, and it's less filling.
And the best thing is it tastes so great.
No, George, the best thing is less filling.
No, Bill, it tastes great.
Less filling, George.
Billy, it tastes great.
Less filling, George.
Billy?
Yeah, George.
You're fired.
Oh, not again.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Hi, Gordon. What you been up to?
Big things, Fred. I'm a full-time student at bartending college.
Wow. I never had time for a formal education.
Well, I decided to make time, but it's not easy. Bartending college is a 4-week course.
Gee, how far along are you?
Well, let's see. This is Tuesday, the 3rd week. Hey, I'm a junior, and I'm late for a daiquiri lecture. Why don't you join me?
Why not?
Bartending College.
You've already spent enough time on the other side of the bar to qualify for enrollment.
Bartending College.
We'll teach you everything you need to know. You'll get a starter set of bartenders' jokes like...
So I says to the guy, you can stay, but the cow's gotta go.
Bartending College.
You'll learn how to roll drunks, water the liquor, and skim the cash register. And remember, as the bartender, you drink for free.
Last call.
For integrity.
GoGreenSolarScreens.com. Save money and energy with a home improvement that pays for itself. Check out GoGreenSolarScreens.com. GoGreenSolarScreens.com. Stop the heat before it hits your home's windows. GoGreenSolarScreens.com.
The Miller Lite Home Draft gives you the great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite on draft in your fridge. And it stays fresh for up to 30 days. And fresh is a lot better than stale. You don't go outside for a breath of stale air. Catching a stale water fish? Bet it has 3 eyes and a hoof. Brewing a stale pot of coffee? That's one grande stinks a latte. Ah, the smell of stale cut grass. FYI, I'm knee-high in manure. Serving snacks and re-stalements at your party? That's a real party pooper, Padre. A stale-baked cookie goes great with a warm glass of Shut Your Trap, chap. Stale squeezed OJ? Excuse me, but no J. If your buddy tells you he's keeping things stale, he needs to change his underpants. Need to restale your web browser? Try www.getaclue.nerd. Don't get stale with me. That's just gross. So why drink stale beer when you can have up to 30 days of fresh draft beer in your fridge? The Home Draft from Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Are you struggling with your golf game? Do you not get up and down as frequently as you should? Do you struggle making 6, 7, 8 foot putts? Well, it's because you don't do one thing. Practice. Hi, this is Chris Bussell, General Manager of the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, Texas. The Golf Center is North Dallas's premier practice facility with over 65 grass tees, 2 putting greens, a short game area, and covered heated tees. You can practice your game all year round. Located in Carrollton off Trinity Mills Road between Marsh and Midway, we're open until 10 p.m. 7 days a week. The other services offered at the Highlands Performance Golf Center are club repair, club regripping, club fitting, TPI fitness classes with Chris Orenby, our certified instructor, an 18-hole mini golf course, 2 junior golf instructors that handle all of our clinics and camps, and 6 Class A members of the PGA of America for all your instructional needs. Come see us at the Golf Center or visit the website at www.highlandspgc.com. Now back to Big Red and IndyCar Tim.
We are back, said Johnny Carson for about 50,000 years on the Tonight Show. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We're going to wrap things up here shortly. Last thing we have to talk about is Week 4 NFL picks.
At the back of my head, boys, don't give a damn.
That's our unofficial show theme song.
I buried the crown.
Thank God I faded it out where
Nothing
it was.
break.
We'd have been karaokeing all night. Let's talk about some NFL picks for this week, Big Red. You're a betting man.
Maybe.
I feel like we had...
Hang on, real quick.
Oh, we have one more shot.
One more shot.
Oh, God, I forgot it's without the Big Red.
No backer.
Here we go. Maker's brethren.
Bam.
Brethren and brother.
Honey, you need to come home soon. Somebody needs to let the dogs out.
Who let the dogs out?
Who?
But before we get into NFL picks, we've got our favorite PGA touring teaching professional, Mr. John Gerber, that sent Big Red his college picks for this week. We're going to get into that.
We've got
real quick.
three hot picks. So we've got
A&M.
No, you ain't going to pick them.
Morehead State.
They got a crappy-ass quarterback, and why do I have an echo in my head right now? Got too much
That might
there.
just be your echo.
Maybe just my head.
Do you have
Anyway.
Facebook on your computer?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. 3 picks from our
Morehead State.
legend, Mr. Gerber.
Sonoma State.
Maryland and the number 12 ranked Penn State.
My next pick. I got Maryland.
Johnny is taking Maryland plus 6.5. The over and under is currently at 61.5.
Under.
And I am thinking that's going to be under.
Yep.
But that's not what Johnny says.
Oh.
Well, Johnny didn't say, so I'm just saying that's not what I
Is
said.
that the name of this segment? Johnny didn't say?
Johnny says.
Johnny says.
Little Johnny.
Brought to you by the Highlands Performance Golf Center. in
Everybody
Carrollton,
has
Texas.
a little Johnny joke. This is Little Johnny.
Little
This
Johnny
is
says.
Little Johnny
I
says.
don't think he would like that analogy very much.
Well, probably not. Probably because you didn't like the fact
Little
that
Johnny?
to put him on mini tours and shit too.
Hope y'all listen to that. Here we go again.
Jesus Christ.
There are cans dying.
Nothing will ever go away with Little Johnny. So, the second game, Arizona State versus Cal. Cal number 15. Johnny is taking Arizona State plus 4.5.
Against Cal?
Against Cal.
Where is it?
At Cal.
Yeah, give me Arizona State.
Yep. Plus 4.5.
Yep.
That's
AZ State.
That's
AZ State.
Who's the?
I don't know if that's a thing.
Who's the coach there?
Arizona State?
Yeah, that's the old guy that used to be the
Lute Olson.
No, used to be on ESPN. Somebody please chime in. And,
Mike Mayock.
No, shut up for a minute. 41, and I think that's going to be an over.
Mac Brown.
No, it's not Mac Brown. Mac Brown's
Lou Holtz.
Stop. Third game. Kansas State at
Chris
Oklahoma.
Berman.
Chris Chris Berman looks like I do in a pair of khakis.
Shots are fun.
Kansas State, dude, I'm telling you, I apologize for this.
I know.
This segment is off the rails. Kansas State and Oklahoma State.
Herm Edwards.
Thanks
to Brandon Whittle on the chat here.
Thank you so much, Brandon.
Germ Edwards.
Thank you.
I forgot he was a coach. What? He wasn't on ESPN.
Yes, he was.
He's a former defensive back safety for the Eagles.
Don't make me hit you in the face.
He's former head coach of the Jets.
Hey, while you're typing over there,
he was on like NFL
please
Network,
tell
right?
this ignorant SOB
that
he was
TV,
on
but it wasn't ESPN, was
he
it?
was on ESPN.
God, I have even less respect for ESPN now. We will win the game. Wasn't that him?
Shut up.
Oh, no. What was his?
Kansas State versus Oklahoma State. He's taking.
Yeah, see, Brandon said, you play the game to win. That was Herm Edwards when he coached in the NFL with the Jets, I believe. Right, Brandon?
But you're still wrong.
Thank you, Brandon.
Kansas State versus Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is where little Johnny's going, a -4.5.
Against who? Morehead State?
Kansas State.
Oh, K-State, the Wildcats.
Oklahoma State,
All right.
-4.5 against K-State.
That's it?
Yes.
Oh, I'll take the over.
That over and under is
what
at
the over is.
60.5.
I will take the over.
I'm thinking under.
Against K-State?
Yeah.
Dude, they might score that many against them by themselves.
Okay.
I know a lot about college football.
Apparently you do. You're making my head hurt, son.
I can't wait to isolate this segment.
But anyway, there's the three picks. So we got Maryland versus Penn State. Take Maryland plus 6.5. Arizona State versus Cal, the number 15 team in the land, plus 4.5. And take Oklahoma State over Kansas State, but give the 4.5. And let's see what happens.
All right. Want to get to some NFL games?
Let's get some NFL
quickly.
games.
Huge,
Yes.
as Tiger said.
Huge. It's huge.
Thursday night, we're going to get all the NFL. We're not going to get all the NFL
Is that what
games. We're gonna
Tiger
pick
said?
a few.
Is that what
Like,
Tiger
hold
said?
quickly,
Is that
huge.
what-
Erase your messages quickly, huge. You don't remember that voicemail?
Is that what she said?
No, that was all him.
That was all him. Okay.
Erase your voicemails quickly, huge. Eagles at Green Bay tomorrow night on Fox, NFL Network, and Amazon Prime. Packers -4.5.
I've currently have Packers at 4.5, but I think I bet them down to. Fact
at home, they're only 4.5.
No.
Over under.
I got them at 4.
Okay.
And I bet them down to 3.
Well, this is as of last night, so it may have moved.
I bet
don't
them
know why
down
it
to
would
3.
move.
So I got Packers -3.
You got them at 3?
Yes.
Oh, dude, that's a good bet. -106.
No, not betting the money line, so that doesn't matter.
All right, doesn't matter. All right, well, I will take the Packers at -3 and 4.5 because I believe they are going to obliterate the Philadelphia Eagles by at least 17 at home. How you like that?
17.
Yeah, I have a 37-20 win.
Hang on. Hey, Arnie.
I'm writing this down.
Arnie, just so you know.
I'm not doing this for Arnie.
Arnie, when you get here, Kitchen Boy is on your side. So
no, don't say that. Don't ever say that.
Y'all be friendly.
No, ain't happening.
Y'all be friendly.
We don't care about the Browns and Ravens. We don't care about the Panthers and Texans. We will do the Redskins and Giants because they're in the division. Giants -2.5 Sunday at noon on Fox. Giants -2.5.
Giants -2.5.
My prediction: Giants 17, Redskins 14. They will cover the 2.5. I don't know what you have them at.
Hang on, I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly what I got them at.
But there's no Saquon Barkley, as we mentioned. Daniel Jones is going to have to play out of his mind, which I believe he will, just like he did against Tampa Bay. Jay Gruden needs this win, but it's not happening. The Giants will cover this 2.5. And then Jay Gruden.
I got nothing on the Giants.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So I believe this game is at noon here Central Time on Fox. I believe by 8 p.m., Jay Gruden is in the unemployment line there in D.C.
You know his brother's going to hire him.
For what? What can Jay Gruden do for the Oakland
If you
Raiders?
had a brother that was a professional football coach.
I would hire you before I hire my real brother. We don't care about the Chargers and the Dolphins. We don't care about the Raiders and the Colts. How about the Chiefs and the Lions? Sunday at noon on Fox.
And the Lions.
The Chiefs -7 in Detroit.
I got them at 6.5.
Is this one of your games?
Yep.
And you took them.
Up.
Well, I have them covering Chiefs 30, Lions 21. It's going to be close. I believe the Chiefs will pull out late.
If you
like
go
I always did in my
one of
first
my
two
bets,
marriages,
I'm going to punch you in the face, in the left ear. I'm going to punch you in
we
the
have
left
the Pats and the Bills, by the way, both with the same record right now in the AFC East at 3-0. Who would have imagined that going into the season?
I had to stay away from that because
Patriots -7.5 in Buffalo.
I had them at 7, and I didn't take it because I just don't think that that's ever going to happen.
Well, I have the Patriots 23, the Bills 13. I believe they cover. We definitely – we care about this because this was one of your games. The Titans at the Falcons. I have the Falcons -4.
I got Falcons at 3.
All right.
I got the Falcons
you
at
have
3.
the Falcons at 3.
I've got the Falcons at 3, and we're going to roll that bean footage.
Well, my prediction is Falcons 27, Titans 24. So according to my line,
That's
the
a
Falcons
push.
don't cover.
That's a push.
According to yours, it's a push.
That's fine.
All
but,
right.
I mean, you're just taking $219 out of my pocket.
Well, I'm sorry. You can just direct deposit it into my account. We don't care about the Bucks and Rams. Vikings and Bears, nope.
Nope. Don't
Jags,
care.
Broncos, don't care. Here we go. We'll do the Cowboys game last. We have Monday night, your 0-3 Bengals versus your 0-3 Pittsburgh Steelers. So let me ask you this. Going into the season, if you saw this Week 4 matchup, Bengals at Steelers, would you have imagined both teams are 0-3?
Week 1, no. And what's the spread on that game?
I have it here at -4 for the Steelers. Steelers by 4.
Steelers by 4.
Yep.
With a backup quarterback.
As of yesterday at 10 p.m.,
Maybe
that is the line.
Maybe I should have added that to my parlay. So no, I don't. I've got to stay away from that.
All right. My prediction: Steelers 23, Bengals 16. The Steelers cover. Which leads us to our last game Sunday night: your Dallas Cowboys versus my New Orleans Saints. Cowboys favored in New Orleans for the first time in the history of television at -2.5.
Cowboys all the way.
My prediction, Cowboys 27, Saints 17. Cowboys will cover. They may not get to 30 again this year or this week as they have in the previous 3 weeks. I hope they do, but 27-17 Cowboys. They will cover the 2.5 as presented to us by Sporting News. What was yours? What was your line?
2.5.
Oh, it's the same. All right. And you still think they cover?
I got 2.5 from the Cowboys. I'm giving 3 from the Falcons. I'm giving 6.5 from Kansas City, and I'm giving 3 from the Packers.
And you still think the Cowboys cover?
Cowboys will cover.
Ron Gallagher, that joined us on the Facebook page, says Cowboys 31-17. Ron, that's a really good pick because, man, I was going 31-17. That was actually my going into this when I was prepping, but I backed off. I'm giving a little credit to the Saints defense, especially being at home and the crowd noise, so I went back to 27. But, yes, 31-17, man, I got you. I believe you. I think that's going to be it. Lance, you got anything else going into the NFL week? This has been the first Wednesday night we've done, the first regular Wednesday going forward. How do you feel?
I'm excited. I'm excited about the Cowboys. I'm excited about the season. we all know that it all comes down to who gets their hands in the dirt and who makes it happen. So
For the Cowboys Saints?
For any
I think
game.
it's going to kind of come down to turnovers as well.
Well, as long as
the defense for the Cowboys needs to kind of pick it up.
As long as Mr. Prescott keeps his lead leg on the ground and his back foot on the ground when he's making passes downfield, I think we'll be fine.
Yep, I agree. We will review the Cowboys and the Saints next Wednesday night. Here from Casa 69 at Studio 69 at Casa's.
Studio 69 at Casa Not So Grande,
Not that
sir.
large. I don't even remember what it's called. It's only been
on.
30 episodes. How would I remember what it's called? Thanks, Tolos. Thanks to the Drunk Sports Podtards. Thanks to the Drunk Dudes and Dolls for joining us. Thank you to Ron. Thanks to Brandon. Thank you to Chris. Thanks to Kelly. Thank you to
Mr. Pinson. Thank you, Mr. Pinson. Thank you, Watson.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Corey. Leonard.
Ricky Lee. Mr. Rocket.
Thanks to Kenny.
Miss Mitzi for
Andrew.
joining. Miss Mitzi from joining from
Illinois.
Quincy, Illinois.
Yes.
We love you. Thank you so much.
We didn't have our Brazil friends.
No, we didn't. But they
might
will
be a time thing.
They will be on.
They might still be on like Monday time down there. I don't know how that works.
They're 4 hours. 4 hours? 4 hours ahead of us.
They're ahead in Brazil?
Yeah, I mean, yes. So not four. 1, 2.
Trying to figure out the time zones with the shape of America. We have North America. Central America does this, then it goes to South America. Now Brazil's here.
South America,
they might be
they're out there.
They might be 2 or 3 hours
they're
ahead.
They're not 4 hours. They're
2 or 3?
At least 2.
All right.
They're at least 2.
I will look that up. That will be on Apologies and Corrections for episode 32.
I always had to look that up when those guys were working with me.
Fernando friended me on Facebook. We love you, Fernando.
Yep.
We appreciate everybody joining us, and especially if you're listening on the podcast. If you're looking for a way to listen to us, you're watching Facebook Live right now, just look for us on your favorite podcast app, whether it's Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. We're everywhere. If it's Spotify, the whole radio play, I forgot what it's called. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on radio.com, which I can never get to work. Ron wants us to message him when we come on again so he can get the whole show. Ron, here's what you need to do, brother. You need to text Drunk Sports to 31996.
I'm so glad you can remember all that shit because I can't.
Text Drunk Sports to 31996, and you will get text alerts to all of our shows, all of our events when we're out and about, drinking, doing shots with our fans. You can also subscribe to our YouTube page and alerts. That will tell you when we're coming on. Or just subscribe to the Facebook page. Make sure you turn on alerts because we always talk about when we're coming on, especially the day of, and you will be with us, brother. Just plan on joining us, Ron, for next week, 8 p.m. Wednesday night. Plan on tuning in about 15 to 10 minutes ahead of time, and we'll have all of that going forward for you. We appreciate you asking. We appreciate everybody watching. We love you. And Mr. Big Red, why don't you go ahead and take us out of here?
Once again, always thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of us. And if you ever find that demon and he's talking to you, always call us. Please just reach out to one of us on our personal Facebook page, our personality pages, on the page for the show. Somebody call us, reach out. We will take the time and we will talk to you. There's no reason for anybody to let that demon creep in. We love you. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.
My nipple does not look like a corn nut.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Drunk Sports Podcast. Join us next time for more Drunk Sports Talk with Lance and Tim. Until next time, here's to you.
This is the funnest night ever.
We're all drunk.
Call me